The closest to God they ever experienced. Hey friend, I'm Jay, by the way. If this is your first time watching me, I talk about God, narcissism, and preparation for the wilderness. And man, God just revealed why sometimes it's hard to know his voice. It's because we're not obedient. We question it a lot. We question what he says because it's family, it's friends, it's somebody. And he most likely he'll tell you to remove yourself or leave them alone. But because you cover it up with empathy and the people pleasing and all these extra things that we do just to save ourselves from the pain, because that's what it really is. Even when you remove these people from out of your life, you still kind of crave their attention because to you, their attention mean that they cared. It's somehow it got all wired up and all confused. So you stay longer than you're supposed to. You stay at a job longer than you're supposed to. You stay in places. God is removing you from a lot of places and a lot of things, and you're still sitting there saying, but. And then you go listen to YouTubers, and you go listen to TikTokers, and you go listen to your pastor, and you go listen to your mom, and you go listen to your daddy, and you go listen to people who never even heard him say those things to them. They're going to convince you otherwise. So now you can't even figure out God's voice anymore because you have so many voices in your mind. God is all knowing. God is all truth. God doesn't represent fear. God doesn't represent evilness. He doesn't represent any of those things. So if it doesn't align with who he is, I'm sitting here saying, you know what, God, take that voice captive and I give it to you. I don't need to repeat it out loud. Why? Because God is already in my head. That's what I'm saying. Like he's saying, be silent. And a lot of us probably think, oh, not to talk about the situation to this person or that person. Sometimes being silent is keeping your mouth closed and saying, God, you heard my thoughts. These are not my thoughts. Show me what you want me to feel. Show me what you want me to think. And then sometimes because you're in a generational curse, you got to realize who you're really praying to. Are you praying to the God of Moses and Abraham and Isaac and Joseph and David? Are you talking to the God of Jesus? Because when you've been embodied and chained up, sometimes you're not praying to that God. Some of y'all only take advice from your parent, not even God. Sometimes y'all don't even go pray to God. Y'all will have y'all people pray for y'all like you don't have access to him. The real reason why you cannot hear God's voice is because you're not listening. And when people say that, I'm like, what you mean I'm not listening? I'm trying. You're not listening. You're listening to what you're used to listening to. So you have to pay attention to your thoughts. God don't give you fear and worries. So if you're worrying about something that is not God's voice, God, I take that worry. That thing that just came into my mind, I capture it. It does not belong to me. I'm asking you I'm handing it over to you. You take it out of my thoughts. We have to reprogram our brains. I started years ago. This ain't just I woke up today. I woke up a couple months. I started years ago. And that's when I started having conversations with God. I'm like, God, reprogram my brain. Show me why I have shame. Show me why I have guilt for standing up for myself. Why am I having these issues? I'm like, yes, I had childhood trauma, but where did it really come from? And then he revealed it all this year. I see the patterns now. It's like packaged in this whole cycle. That's why I'm like, God, why I keep being in the same cycle? Say no, I felt shame. I felt guilt for standing up for myself. And then I double back to say yes because of fear. How many of you did it? How many, friend? You allowed things to happen because how you felt. We can't sit there and keep blaming the people who did us dirty, man. We sat there and said, yes, you are adult now. I'm no longer a child. I'm talking about people you didn't sit there and say no to, and they keep coming. You didn't call the police. You didn't do. But most of the time, you already entertained them long enough where they felt they can do it. I'm not saying every situation is the same. I'm not talking about people who have no control over it. I'm talking about you. You knew better. I'm talking to you who knew better. You spent too much time with God to sit there and blame the person when it was a lesson learned. Those people never experienced God. They make you the closest to God they ever experienced. They treated you how they treat God. They treated you how they treat God. You a special friend. You're an anointed friend. And you have to guard your heart. I left a door wide open and the enemy said, I got you. And what he meant for evil, God turned it around for good. And a whole year then almost passed from when I said yes after God said no. Look how fast time moves. But if I don't clear my mind and reprogram my mind, I will stay stuck in a cycle what the enemy was hoping that was going to happen. Stuck in pain, self-blame, not trusting no one or God. That's where he wants you. Because the day you sit here and say, you know what? I give it all to God. It doesn't matter how it work out. God, show me how to change and reprogram my brain. Show me how to trust you more. Not other people, but your voice. Take even the people who gave you positive things because you depended on their voice. Remove their voice from my mind. I hold it captive. I release it to you. Remove it from my mind. I hold it captive. I release it to you. Remove it from my mind. I hold it captive and release it to you. The only voice I want in my head other than mine is yours. I don't want no gratification. I don't need nobody who's sitting there remember like, oh man, remember they gave me my props for that. I don't want it. I don't need no validation from nobody else. I only want his voice. And God determines and tells me, well, God, you show me what is your voice. Why I know your voice is because I read my Bible. And even when I didn't know it was your voice, I remember God had me, I'm going to be real with you. My mind was so conflicted and double-minded in this year that I wound up started begging God. Begging God for abuse. Let me stay longer. Begging God for disrespect. Let me try again. All this outside things you think you're doing, I'm going to God begging him for the yes. Begging for the yes because he's telling me no. He's telling me no and telling me no, telling me no, telling me no. And I'm begging until he took his hands off it. Do what you want to do because you have free will. I'm not going to force you. That's what I love about him. He said, I'm not going to force you to choose me, but I'm going to let you see. And I'm going to open your eyes. And I'm going to tell you this time, if you do not listen, that's all I have. I love you. You are so important. You are a chosen one. Amen.